As far back as the 4th century, the Church meticulously identified 7 deadly sins, character failings that were deemed particularly condemnable and were to be diligently avoided by those aspiring to righteousness. In the rich tapestry of Christianity's moral teachings, the concept of sin has played a central role. These sins were a formidable list. Pride, the act of being snobbish and boastful. Envy, the corrosive emotion of coveting what others possess. Wrath, the destructive force of uncontrolled anger. Gluttony, the indulgence in excessive eating. Lust, the pursuit of promiscuity. Sloth, the abandonment of diligence for laziness, and finally, greed, the insatiable desire for material wealth. In the medieval Christian worldview, these sins were viewed as severe soul maladies, marking individuals as deserving targets of admonishment and punishment. God, in his infinite judgment, was believed to be relentless in dealing with sinners, consigning them to spend millennia in the darker, more tormented corners of purgatory. While we may not employ such explicitly theological language in contemporary discourse, the echoes of these attitudes persist in our modern evaluation of people's character flaws, both online and in the real world. Our responses to the less fortunate sides of individuals often carry a tone of condemnation, as if we believe that through our harshness we are contributing to humanity's improvement. However, if our true goal is the betterment of humanity, perhaps it's time to move beyond mere condemnation. Instead, let us strive to understand the underlying motivations that drive individuals in their more regrettable moments. In doing so, we may uncover a surprising truth. Behavior labeled as sinful is not merely an unfortunate first response to difficulty and distress. If properly understood, guided, and forgiven, these behaviors could potentially be redirected toward nobler ends. The recognition that we aren't inherently evil opens the door to a more compassionate and empathetic approach. Rather than perpetuating a culture of judgment, we can foster an environment that seeks to understand and support one another on our journeys toward personal growth and redemption. After all, in the spirit of forgiveness and understanding, the potential for transformation is limitless. In the pursuit of nobler ends, it becomes evident that our actions, often misconstrued as evil, are rooted in the depths of our pain. A profound exploration of the 7 sins provides a lens through which we can dissect and understand our motivations. Pride, often misunderstood, surfaces as boastfulness and grandstanding. However, beneath the surface, it is a desperate attempt to affirm our existence and counter the looming doubt about our worth. Rather than chastising the proud, what they truly need is encouragement to embrace a more genuine pride in their own merits, freeing them from the constant compulsion to seek external validation. Envy, too, is not merely a negative emotion, but a potential teacher. It stems from the recognition that we are incomplete and imperfect, yearning for improvement. Instead of succumbing to guilt, we should view envy as a guidepost, helping us identify the areas where we can grow and learn from others. It's an opportunity to sift through its signals, discern the underlying lessons, and chart a course toward personal development. In this journey, we must recognize that envy is not an enemy, but a reflection of our aspirations. By understanding its roots, we can transform envy into a constructive force that propels us forward on a path of self-discovery and improvement. This approach shifts the focus from condemnation to introspection, encouraging us to embrace our imperfections and leverage them for personal growth. The solution is not to vilify ourselves for succumbing to envy, but rather to explore the void it highlights. It's a call to understand what is genuinely missing from our lives and to seek fulfillment in ways that align with our values and aspirations. Ultimately, as we navigate the complexities of our emotions and behaviors, the key lies in fostering self-awareness, compassion, and a commitment to continuous improvement. By embracing our vulnerabilities and using them as stepping stones to personal growth, we can transcend the limitations imposed by the 7 sins and move towards a more enlightened and fulfilling existence. In moments of anger, the words we hurl at others are seldom a genuine reflection of our feelings. They are born out of panic and anxiety. When we label someone as a stupid fool or shout in frustration, it's often a manifestation of our own fear, a fear that momentarily consumes us. Rather than dwelling on the obvious negativity of anger, what we truly need is a compassionate understanding of the fears that underlie it. Responding with empathy, saying, "You must be scared," is not only the kindest, but also the most effective way to address an angry outburst. It pinpoints the root of the issue, acknowledging the vulnerability that lies beneath the surface. Instead of being chastised for our emotional outbursts, we yearn for others to recognize our fragility and offer support. Our seemingly excessive behaviors, such as overindulging in chicken wings and toasted sandwiches, are not rooted in greed, but in emotional starvation. It's a craving for love that far surpasses our desire for calories. Rather than prescribing diets and moral judgments, the solution lies in helping individuals discover new avenues for kindness, security, and emotional connections. Our struggles with weight are symbolic of our emotional undernourishment, not an inherent flaw. To address our yearning for connection, we must look beyond the surface and understand that our appetite has not found its ideal target. The excess weight we carry serves as a tangible reminder of our background emotional hunger, urging us to seek fulfillment in healthier ways. Similarly, our desires for intimacy and connection should not be dismissed as mere lust. Jumping into bed with others is not a sign of degeneracy, but a response to loneliness. Sex becomes the epitome of connection and acceptance, offering a momentary escape from the scarcity of open-ended affection in ordinary life. Rather than suppressing our desires, the key is to gain clarity about what we genuinely need from sex, acceptance of our messy, complex selves. In essence, understanding the deeper motivations behind our actions, whether they be angry outbursts or seemingly indulgent behaviors, allows us to address the root causes with compassion and empathy. It's not about condemning our impulses, but guiding them toward healthier expressions, ultimately leading to a more fulfilling and authentic life. In the dance of our all-too-human selves, sloth and laziness often disguise a deeper emotion: fear. This fear isn't a mere aversion to exertion, rather it's a trepidation we can't bear to confront. The fear that if we truly apply ourselves, we risk the terrifying prospect of humiliation. What if our efforts don't yield the success we yearn for? What if we encounter a task that proves too formidable? The looming dread of realizing our current inadequacy or facing potential mockery from the world becomes the anchor holding us back. Yet, these aren't failings. they are profoundly understandable anxieties. Behind our inaction lies the spectre of anticipated disaster, a catastrophic scenario conjured by our apprehensive minds. The moment of initiation finally arrives, when the fear of accomplishing nothing at all triumphs over the paralyzing dread of doing something imperfectly. Then there's the ever-present force of greed, compelling us to seize more than our fair share. This impulse, far from emanating from inherent malevolence, is a reaction to an underlying sense of deprivation. We felt neglected and vulnerable, and in response, we grasp for as much as we can, as quickly as we can. Despite outward appearances of advantage and privilege, internally, we grapple with an overwhelming sense of desperation. In essence, our so-called sins are not indicative of inherent moral shortcomings. Instead, they are the manifestation of unmet needs seeking expression in the absence of healthier outlets. There's no need for beratement or threats of hell. What we crave is open affection that accepts us as we are, forgiveness devoid of criticism, and a tenderness that delicately identifies our true vulnerabilities. It's this compassionate approach that encourages our innate desire for self-improvement. In sharing these reflections, we aim not to chastise, but to illuminate the contours of our shared human experience. Together, let us foster a community that embraces authenticity, understanding, and the ongoing journey toward self-discovery.